Welcome back. Another episode of Reject the Now with my co-host Pete. Pete, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Well, today's episode is all about the joy and the, I guess, hatred now all of a sudden of the cruise industry and cruising in general. I myself love going on cruises, and all of a sudden my co-host, my hetero life mate Pete here, informs me that he is no longer on the cruise bandwagon, and I want to know why.
I was a fan of cruises, like you said. We
Yeah,
went on
you
cruises
used to be
before.
cool.
It was fun when
Remind me where you got engaged.
I got engaged on a cruise
Oh, nice.
with you and your wife and
Yes, I was
my
there.
now
I
wife.
remember.
And
What's
it
the
was
problem?
that was a great trip. I'm not
Yes,
gonna lie,
it was.
that was a fun trip. We went to a lot of cool islands and we got to do a lot of cool stuff, and we won the cruise.
Yes, we did.
We participated
Best
in
anyone.
every single event, and we won every single event that we participated in.
I
We
remember
went
us
home
hopping
with-
the boards at the game shows. They didn't have a chance to tell us what we're playing. We just hopped over.
Yeah, we went to a game show. It was like a battle of the sexes kind of thing, and it was on top of the hockey rink or the ice rink. And now, as a hockey player, our instincts are to jump the boards. We were sitting in the front row, and we wanted to be part of that game show. So as soon as they said, "Hey, if any volunteers want to come down," we both hopped the boards like we were about to go in on a power play. And they were like, "Please don't hop over the boards. Please
do not jump over things.
Please stop having fun. You're only allowed to have fun when we tell you you're allowed to have fun."
That's not what they said. See, this is the problem. This is the problem. You all of a sudden, because one person said, "Oh, I can have fun wherever I want." Now Pete, all of a sudden, is on this bandwagon saying cruises are too regimented and you can't have fun anytime you want. I always find the fun. I don't know what happened.
It's too scheduled. There's too many people. There's too many
people everywhere.
There's too many Walmart people.
Walmart people.
I'm up here. I'm up here where the air is crisp.
Who's the Walmart person in your
Walmart people? You know what I'm talking about. Walmart people.
No,
people
please.
That wear the "I'm with stupid" T-shirt, and like they're like, "Oh, I eat some popcorn so I can find treasures in my teefers." Yeah, Royal Caribbean used to be good. I went on Royal Caribbean and Norwegian as a child, and I went on Royal Caribbean with you, and it was a great time. And then the last cruise I went on, whatever they're trying to do with these weekend whatever, it was just an absolute awful experience.
See, I know there's a lot of people out there who are yelling about the weekend cruises. I was on that cruise with you. It was my brother's bachelor party. I had an amazing time. We drank the entire time. You got sick, so maybe that's why it sullied your palate.
Well, I think that I have a better gauge on how that trip was because of the fact that I was sick.
Because you were sober?
Because everyone else is just drunk 24/7, so they can't actually open their eyes to see how awful the cruise ship is.
So you're saying the 6 gallons of alcohol that I consumed messed up my perception?
Yeah, it might cloud your judgment a little bit.
Clouded my judgment?
A little bit. Maybe also the amount of sugar that you consumed and put you into diabetic shock.
I don't drink the sugar drinks like you people. I was drinking, there's sugar in all alcohol, so I wasn't overboarding it with it. And also, I didn't lose my voice the last time because I refrained from having all the acids, the lemons and the limes. That's what really destroys your throat. I don't do that anymore.
Well, I had nothing that destroyed my throat.
That always happens to me. That's the only downside to cruising. Well, besides what it does to your inside, eventually the bathroom situation.
Yeah, the cruise that I went on with you back in the day, I was in constant, digestive turmoil the entire time. I was going back to every time I went back to my room. Because I'm eating both of us don't eat high octane food all the time, but all these Walmart people, this is what they live off of. So this is normal for them. If we go on this cruise and we start eating high octane food like this, it's not going to go well.
It's going to rip right through us.
Yeah. Every time I went back to my room, I was popping Gas X, Tums, and probiotics.
Oh, did you stop by the salad buffet? Or did you go right to the burgers and steaks and chicken sandwiches?
I didn't
Like
eat
pizza.
I didn't eat burgers and sandwiches and stuff on that cruise. I was eating normal food.
You didn't have pizza. One quick
Oh,
slice.
obviously, quick
Ah.
slice. Gotta have a quick slice.
How many salads did you eat?
I don't remember.
Would no salads be accurate?
Maybe,
Okay.
but I don't normally eat salads anyway.
Wow. I'm sorry.
So
I'm
that
sorry.
wouldn't have any
vacation you take. I don't care where you're about to go to Disney again. We went over this on the last show.
I know, and I'm already thinking about how much it's going to set me back and like how much I'm going to feel like
money
shit.
aside. The food.
No, I'm not talking about
Disney
money. I'm talking about
too.
progress. I'm talking about progress, like losing weight, getting in the gym, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, it's going to set you back carbs wise.
And the fact that I'm like going to go off of my diet for an entire week. I'm not going to be able to work out for an entire week. You know, I'm going to be eating and drinking and all like indulging in like sweets and all this kind of stuff for an entire week.
But
I'm going to come back. I'm going to feel like shit.
So any vacation, you're two big things. You don't like Walmart people, and you said, what'd you say before? The crowds.
Well, yeah,
and the food. I mean,
and the food.
You're gonna get that in any vacation you go to. You go to Disney, you're gonna be surrounded by people, especially Walmart people. I don't know how they afford it, but the Walmart people, they save up. They put it all on their credit card. You're gonna get run over by a scooter.
We already went over this in episode 1.
You're gonna get but that's what I'm saying. You're gonna get overcharged for all the food, all the shitty food, because Disney does have shitty food. I don't care what anyone says. Those
the food in the restaurants that you're gonna eat.
Steaks,
no. I'm not talking about quick service. I'm not talking about quick service. I'm talking about the restaurants.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. Mr. Pete's dad is a bougie, and he only goes to the finest establishment.
The restaurants in Disney blow any restaurant out of the water. You know, no pun intended, of anything in the cruise.
Yeah, but you're also going to pay 6 times the price.
I'm already paying to be there on the cruise ship. They should be giving me what I paid for.
They gave you plenty of food.
They're like, oh, you want good food? Well, you're going to pay extra for that. But if you want this cafeteria slop, then you can go eat at the Windjammer.
So I think it's a step above cafeteria slop.
You know, other than the fact that also that a cruise ship, I feel like a rat that's just trapped in a cage. You're stuck on this boat, and all you're doing is walking gigantic hallways all day. It's like you go to your room, and then you're like, all right, I want to get to wherever. What do I have to do? Walk down the biggest hallway on Earth.
It's easy. It's a finite area. You got to find which ways are the fastest route, or put yourself close to the main deck, like I always do. I don't go further down than deck like 10, because all you have to do is hop on the stairs, and you're 2 floors up, and you're on the main deck. Beautiful.
But the food is the biggest thing for me. When I was sick that one, I got sick because the Windjammer is just like, why doesn't everybody just, instead of no one washies? Like, there's no way that
they do.
Everyone
washy.
And if they do, then when they get back to their table, they must fucking put their hand down their ass crack
and just rub them.
Yeah, because I definitely got sick from the Windjammer at the welcome buffet. There's no way I didn't. There's no way I didn't, because less than 24 hours later, I woke up with razor blades in my stomach. And I was achy and cold sweats and chills. And
you had norovirus, probably.
Yeah, I 100% had norovirus.
But you can get that at Disney. You can get norovirus everywhere. The only difference is that if you get norovirus in Disney, they don't have to report it to the CDC. That's the only difference.
I know. I didn't report anything because I didn't want to go to cruise jail.
I can go to cruise jail.
I didn't want to be quarantined in my room and be stuck in a windowless room for the next 48 hours.
Well, that's why you got to keep your mouth shut. You got to be like the Italians. We don't say nothing.
I did. I didn't say anything. I
told you to eat apples. Didn't I tell you to eat apples?
Yeah, if I could keep anything down.
You got to eat the apples, drink the ginger ale.
The entire day that we were there where I was sick, I just was observing the entire time because I felt like absolute trash. I couldn't talk for very long. Otherwise, I felt like I was going to throw up. So I just basically sat there and sipped on some water and looked around. People watched. And I looked around and I'm like, well, yeah, people watching is great because, like I said, it's Walmart people. They're like a bunch of trolls and ogres on this boat. I felt like I was, like where are we headed on this boat? Mordor? Like
it's Cartman and Fat Heidi. Yeah, snuggle buffet.
Yeah, and they just wander from thing to thing that the cruise director tells them to go to, and they just go, "Am I having fun? Okay, tell me I'm having fun now."
Oh my god!
And then the cruise director's like, be there at 3:15 if you want to have some fun. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to do what you want to do. Like, let me do my own thing.
You don't have to. You don't have to do shit. You can sit in your room all day.
I don't want to sit in my room.
Sleep.
I had a windowless room that was the size of my closet at home.
If you want to be a Grinch, you go to the solarium with all the other old people. Sit in the hammock.
Yeah, except the solarium was a legit greenhouse because they're like, let's make it cool and cover it all in glass. And it's like, I wonder what that's going to do in the
I forgot you have a sweating problem. You can't
Not
regulate your
What
heat.
Normal human being wants to be standing in
because the old people, they want to be warm. They wrap themselves up and swaddle themselves as they nap.
Like when we went to that margarita place by the pool, and it was so uncomfortably hot. I was like, I was having like a panic attack. I was like, I need to get out of here. I need to get into air conditioning, or I'm gonna kill someone.
I feel like this is a you problem. This is not a cruise.
It is a cruise problem.
This is a you problem.
I looked around and I'm like, I'm not having fun.
I feel like old man Pete doesn't know how to have fun anymore. He's losing his mojo.
I know how to. I know how to have plenty of fun. It's just that I know how to have my own fun, and I don't need someone telling me how to do it.
Like Stella, we got to figure out how to get your groove back.
Well, it's not going to be on a cruise ship, that's for sure. Not anytime soon. That cruise scarred me.
I don't think we're gonna obviously agree on the food. The food, I have always gone into cruising knowing that the food sucks. We're from New Jersey.
Why? Then why would you go on a cruise then if you're
because I don't
if you're like why are you going to accept the fact that the food
I do not go on vacation for food. I just don't.
Why not?
But I cook better than I would say 90% of the restaurants in our state. I can cook better. There are restaurants that do it better.
That's the Italian in you saying.
Exactly. So I don't go on. Food doesn't matter to me because the food anywhere isn't going to blow me away. I've been to every good Disney restaurant. I'm never blown away. I paid $200 for Cinderella's Castle.
Well, that's a gimmick. That's a gimmick restaurant.
I've been to the Bell's Castle. I've been to the boat house.
It's a gimmick restaurant.
Disney Springs.
You got to go to Le Cellier.
Okay. The point is, I don't get blown away by food. So I'm not from the Midwest. People from the Midwest get blown away by the food because they have garbage.
Yeah,
we
Walmart
have
people.
great food. So I don't go on vacation expecting high-end tier #1 food. I go expecting to be fed and get as much as I want. And the food I would hope is passable, which I think cruise ship food for the most part is passable. And if actually the one place where people like fall, and I can confirm this on a lot of cruise ships. I've had an Indian waiter, and he notices I always order the Indian dishes because I love Indian food. I think because in the kitchen there's so many Indian cooks, they put a lot of heart and soul into the Indian dishes, and not so much like the Italian dishes because they don't know how to cook them like Italians.
It's probably like ragu.
Yeah, exactly. So the Indian food comes out excellent, and my waiter always notices, oh, you order all the Indian. And because they must notice when people order, because I don't think a lot of people order Indian food.
Yeah, I definitely would not be doing that.
Exactly. But it's always good. It comes out really good. But the food aside, the entertainment on a cruise ship for like best bang for your dollar, I think the entertainment is where the cruise ship, you get more for your money than you would, let's say, going to Disney.
Okay, what's the entertainment?
Yeah, okay, so you got...
we had the dive show. What other than that?
Okay, yeah, well, no. Start at the beginning. When we get on, there's pools, okay? We can go into the pool, and there's games there. There's water slides, okay? There's a rock wall. There's a couple rock walls. The regenerating wave that you can surf. I know you don't go in the water, but you could surf the wave. You can play mini golf. You could play all the other games they have set up in some of the ships. They have like those game pads. We went on one of them with all those before. So like little things like that, and then you have the arcade, then you have these planned events, the volleyball tournaments.
Who's going on a vacation to play in an arcade?
I do.
You are the low intelligent level, low IQ person that's like,
I am the target
I need
audience.
to go on a cruise. I agree with Bill Burr.
I do karaoke every cruise. I love karaoke. I do it every time.
I believe in Bill Burr's stand-up skit where he says, if I was a dictator, I would sink one out of every 3 cruise ships because we really don't need those people
So
in
they're
everyday
siding with Bill
society.
Burr, who's basically he's 60 now, and he's like a bitter old man at this point. Like I still find him hilarious, but he is definitely like,
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna yell at the kids on the street for riding their bikes on my lawn.
Oh, that's I'm turning into that already.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Something happened.
When
to your
people
mojo.
when
You
I'm
just
like
get
walking my dog and someone drives too fast down my street, I'm always like, "Hey, what are you doing? Slow down!
Slow down there." I'm sorry. I like all the entertainment.
There's
I
kids
think
here."
there's bands, there's games, there's events. You win medals. Did you forget about the medals, Pete? I got all my medals still hanging up. Got them all.
That's sad.
I should have brought them. I should have worn them for the podcast, even though we're not videotaping. That's why
I'm just saying you're getting like low tier entertainment. Really,
I don't think Royal is low tier. They get a lot of
super low tier food.
I wouldn't say low tier food.
The food in the Windjammer was on par with what was in the cafeteria at our college. It's the same
I'd say it's
stuff.
a slice high, just a tad higher.
Yeah, and now if you're saying just a tad, and you're like,
it's a buffet.
College food. Why would you want to eat college food?
What do you expect?
I'm not even saying that. I'm not even talking about like the Windjammer sucks, but so does the formal dining room. It's the formal dining room. That was supposed to be where you could get the best meal on the boat. And I got absolute trash food every time I went there.
So I think you got to try.
I was like, let me get the New York. Let me get the New York strip. It was like a centimeter thick. It was cooked gray all the way through, even though I asked for medium rare.
Well, send it back. Get a new one.
And it looked like a Salisbury steak. It didn't even look like a ribeye. It wasn't even the right shape. I mean, the right shape of a New York strip.
They didn't have ribeyes. They give you the New York strip.
Yeah, it wasn't even the shape of a New York strip. It wasn't even the correct size. What did they get it off of? A cow that like a young cow, not a full cow. It was like this tiny little. It looked like a McDonald's hamburger with a pizza.
What about the beef tenderloin night though?
Everything was crap.
The beef tenderloin was good.
I didn't eat one thing there that I was like, oh, I literally can't remember one thing that I ate on that cruise that I went, oh wow, this is really good. I want another one of those. Even the pizza sucks.
Wow.
The quick slice.
The Sorrento's is not that bad.
I'm just eating it because it's there, and I was like drinking, so I was like, I'm just eating it. But again, it's not good.
You're from the land of pizza. We can go and get a Portnoy like 8-7 right now, where most people in the world can't do that. Their pizza is 5.1.
Well, because all the pizza that they have is chain pizza.
Exactly. It's all
like exactly what I said. This cruises are good for people who are Walmart people from the Midwest.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm a high tier pizza person, and Sorrento's on Royal. It's not.
But you already said you don't go for the food. I don't. I like to eat.
I'll defend the Sorrento's. Those people pump out pie after pie after pie nonstop.
When you're standing there watching the guy that controls all the ovens, it's like watching it's like watching that old video game with the bartender.
Tapper.
Yeah, it's like watching Tapper because he's just like
back and forth.
This one's beeping and he's quick throwing the new pie.
It's entertainment in itself. Just watching the pizza guys, and they got the big thing, just slicing.
That I will say is impressive, but all he's doing is taking frozen pizzas and putting them in ovens and then taking them out.
So I feel like
if I wanted Celeste frozen pizza, I could just go to my grocery store and get it for 50 cents.
It's not Mama Celeste.
It's basically
those guys work hard.
And all their drinks, when they want to talk about like, oh, their drinks are great, it's just like, hey, how much syrup can we put into the one glass, and then we'll go with
again.
Splash,
that's on you. You are ordering the wrong drinks. Don't order the.
No, I know, but when I looked at the drink menu, I know I can order whatever I want. The first drink we ordered when we were all in the pool, well, I got some like passion fruit mojito or something. Yeah. I took 2 sips and put it on the side of the pool. I was like, I'm done.
You got to control yourself with the sugar.
No frozen drinks. Definitely can't drink frozen drinks.
You can get a frozen, just one. You don't have to drink all of it. If you want a frozen drink, you get a frozen drink. Have a little bit and you put it down. Like, oh, I'm done with this. I don't want to eat the whole thing. Drink the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Eat it because you have to. You got to chew it.
But what about the mason jar menu? Those drinks were great.
Yeah, the mason jar was okay, but it's like okay, this one tiny bar in the entire ship is the only one that was like half decent.
I guarantee they're going to make that place bigger because they see the draw.
For sure.
The place is awesome.
But it's like make the rest of the boat like that.
Well,
like we did the pub crawl. We went to every bar.
Yeah.
So I was able to experience every bar on this boat, and I'd say at least 75% of them were absolute trash.
I like the pesky parrot was fun.
Pesky Parrot was okay because the
atmosphere.
the atmosphere for sure, and so was Mason Jar. Mason Jar was fun,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
that's it. Where else?
I mean, I always like the Irish pub. I always like the karaoke bar. Boleros, I don't really go into.
Irish pub.
I always like the Top Deck bar. You know, whatever it used to be, Sky Bar. I forget what it's called now, but the lime and coconut, I like that one.
Nah.
There's plenty of good places to drink and eat. I think you're just, I don't know where you're looking. The lens that you're looking through, I think, is jaded now.
I think I'm just looking for a better experience for my dollar.
But I mean, I don't think you're definitely not gonna find that,
because like if I'm spending, I'm not.
Where are you gonna go?
Listen. I don't want to go to Disney.
I know this,
but I'm going.
But like, okay,
that's not my like. If I'm going to plan a vacation, I'm not going to say, "Hey, let's go to Disney," or "Hey, let's go on a cruise," because
going to
all of them are super commercial and super expensive for no reason, and what you're getting is not valuable, not a value for your dollar at all.
But let's say you want to go to an all-inclusive. All-inclusives are going to cost
all-inclusives are also
double.
shit.
They're all exactly. The food is garbage, and you're going to pay double. So let's say you go to a normal place and you're just paying out of pocket. Like
I did go to an all-inclusive that was quality, but for my honeymoon. But that's because
so did I went to the same place.
The most insanely expensive all-inclusive you've ever been
on,
which you could have easily went somewhere else and then just went out to dinner and bought those meals
I agree.
For less money.
My honeymoon was the same thing. We stayed at Atlantis. The food was horrendous, and it was absolutely incredibly expensive.
I'm saying what I was saying was the place I went to for my honeymoon was LeBlanc in Cancun.
Yeah, I know.
And it's super, super high end, and the food was great. The drinks were great. The bar, everything
we
there
stayed
was
at LeBlanc on the other side.
Yeah, you went to the Moon Palace or something.
Yeah, Half Moon Palace or whatever.
Yeah, like
was nice.
The LeBlanc, I would definitely I would go back to LeBlanc. That's how good it was. But the price is insane. We were able to get it cheap because it was right after COVID, and they were desperate for people to book. So we got an insane deal. But other than that, I wouldn't. But all inclusive, that you're just expecting that when you go to an all inclusive, which is a cruise, which is an all inclusive resort on the water. You're already going. I'm already setting my expectations here for food, for drinks, for everything, because it's all inclusive. Because they need to make money, so they're going to give you the crap alcohol. They're going to have not the crap food. They're not giving you stuff that's like high end because they know that that's not going to make them money. They want to make as much money off you as possible.
I understand the food situation. It's never good. Cruise ship food is never going to be top tier. The drinks, however, you have to know what to do. I would sit there at the bar. People would walk up, even with the drink card, because you get unlimited. Walk up and just say, "I want a vodka club." Vodka. If you say
you have to specify. You have to specify.
Red.
Yeah, I know.
You have to specify. So you can.
That's their strategy.
On a cruise.
That's their strategy.
You have to be smarter. I was drinking Bacardi all week. I was drinking Belvedere vodka all weekend when we went. I was drinking what they had. They had Buffalo Trace bourbon, which is fine. It's not the best, but still
I know. But if you know how to do that, then sure.
But you should. I mean, do your research. And this is maybe that people will learn. If you go on a cruise and you have the drink package, name the alcohol that you want, even if the recipe calls for something else, because a lot of the vodka drinks call for Absolute. Phil does not drink Absolute because Phil doesn't want to wake up with a monster hangover, and I'm not 21 anymore. I drink Belvedere, you can get Grey Goose or Tito's. I feel like all three of those are far superior to Absolute, but you got to ask for it.
I had to do the same thing on my honeymoon with the tequila because
I
was in Mexico.
Tequila.
They were giving me tequila out of a plastic bottle, and I was like, I looked at him when he poured it, and I was like, "The hell is that?" And then once you're like, if you stay at an all inclusive, you kind of get to know your bartenders because you're there for so long.
But you get to know the bartenders on the cruise.
But and then there's too many. You can, but like there's so many.
If you're not go to the same bar, like
if you go to the same bar over and over and over again.
So what? That's fun.
Don't you want to explore the boat, all
You
like
spread it around, but you
27
always find
bars.
that bartender that you kind of click with. You give him a little tip in the beginning of the week, and then he takes care of you. That a little extra pour is going to go a long way.
Why? If you have the unlimited, what do you need an extra pour for?
Because you don't want to again, you talked about sugar intake. If you can have one drink that actually is not watered down like the rest, I don't have to go back for 3 pina coladas and I'm intaking, I don't even know how much sugar. I can just have one decent pina colada and now I'm good. You see?
I just figured the whole time we were on the cruise, the whole time I was just like, we were waiting to go to the next thing. And it's like lines of people. That's not my ideal vacation. I don't want to be on a vacation like that. I hate people. I don't want to be near
you shouldn't
people.
go on vacation. Your vacation
I want to go
be Walden Pond. Just go into the woods and leave everyone alone.
Listen, I went to Maui and I was in, before the government burned it down with their laser weapons. And I was happy because I was in a remote location where there wasn't a lot of people around. I was sitting on a beach, just me and my wife, and we looked left and we looked right, and there was nobody for as far as the eye could see on this beach. That's what I want. We live in one of the most densely populated states in the entire country, and I don't want to be around people. Like, we're around too many people as is. Like, I am Bruce Banner. Give me peace. I don't want to be around chaos. And don't get me started. Don't get me started on the perfect day at Coco Cay. That island needs,
all right. Coco Cay.
That island needs to be drone strike. Like, it needs to be wiped off the map. That is the worst island. They should make a TV show where they make people be on that island, and whoever is the last person to be like, I can't take it anymore and want to leave, they get $1 million. I would watch that show because that was one of the worst experiences. You walk onto this island, you're trudging through the jungle and through sand for 3 miles to get to this awful beach.
You could take the tram. You should have took the tram.
8 million chairs for people to sit on. You felt like you were like going into like when I looked at the rows of all the chairs and like as far as the eye could see were chairs, which is the exact opposite of what I had in Hawaii. I felt like I was in the warehouse where they kept the Ark of the Covenant, Indiana Jones, where it was just a never-ending warehouse of crap. I don't want to be with that many people. But it's not fun.
So you have to know where to go. You didn't go to the right place.
I went to wherever you were because you went there first.
Because the bachelor party, you're supposed to stay together. We're not there to relax. If you wanted your own experience, there's plenty of places on Coco Cay to go where you can hop in a hammock under a tree and be left alone.
If you get up at 4 a.m. and you're the first one at the hammock so they don't get taken.
No, they're everywhere.
Just like the pools. The pools are the size of a hot tub.
Not on the ship.
You can fit 3 people in a pool.
They got the biggest pool in the Caribbean.
When we walk by, they jam pack that boat so much with the smallest pools on earth. Why are there not bigger pools?
I will agree to.
You go to the pool deck and you look and you're like, oh, human soup. Yeah, no thanks.
That I agree with. But what
I don't want to be anywhere.
It's a finite space. You can't make an Olympic-sized swimming pool on a cruise ship.
Okay, just put more of them.
Yeah, I mean, I would love one more pool in the front.
Way more pools.
Kind of way more. But then you can't have the water slides, and then you can't have the mini golf.
Who cares?
No one like that.
We went on the water slide twice, and we were like, yay! And then our friend Steve,
you got
broke
to make
his back on it.
Kids, you have to make it good for the kids.
Okay, they have that whole splash bullshit on the other side. That's wasting an area for pools. People who bring an infant on a cruise, you got to be out of your mind.
Oh yeah, I've seen that a bunch of times. I don't understand that.
Like my friend did it, and he was like, "Yeah, it was great." I was like, "Are you sure?" No. I'm like, "Why?" I was like, "You can't go out at night. You can't what do? You go back to your room and you sit in your room,
basically,
when the kid has to go to bed in a cruise ship room. Cruise ship rooms are the worst. Cruise ship rooms are the worst. It's almost like you're in a prison cell. That's how small it is. I'm pretty sure, like when I've toured the state jails that we have in the area, the rooms are actually possibly bigger.
But yeah,
The holding cell at the my local police department is bigger than the room that I was in.
We're cells 12 by 12. Ours are
Yeah,
12 by 13.
like,
no big deal.
Like the
No
room
big
was
deal.
absolutely horrendous.
There you go. I don't go on cruises. For
I know,
the
but you're
room.
not supposed to spend the time in the room. I'm talking about if you brought an infant. But like that's
stupid.
Again, that's another thing though. You're like, I'm spending all this money to go on a vacation to stay in a terrible subpar room with terrible subpar food around terrible subpar people. To go to a terrible subpar island. The private island was trash.
Coco Cay is not a great island.
You want to talk about how bad the pools are on the boat? What about the pool on Coco Cay?
It's the biggest pool in the Caribbean.
No, it's not. It's the biggest toilet in the Caribbean.
Every pool's a toilet.
The entire outside of the pool was lined with people.
Yeah, but again,
shoulder to shoulder,
were sitting by the bar. Go to the other side.
The whole bar. I mean, the whole pool. When I looked all the way down, we walked all the way around the whole pool to get to where the bar was because the bar was on the far end. The entire pool's outside was shoulder to shoulder with the most disgusting people I've ever seen in my life. That this is probably the first bath that they've ever had being in the pool. And they probably, you know what they probably did? They probably classified that as a bath for themselves that day. When they got back to their room before dinner, they were like, I was in the pool, so that probably counts. And they just put whatever clothes on. They put on their shirt that said, I feel the stupid.
Problem is you're just too
There's
handsome,
trash everywhere.
Obviously. You're too handsome, too in shape for the cruise people.
Yeah, I am.
That's it. You're too good.
Our group was, we looked like the freak show walking around.
I mean, yes,
because everyone else is in their jazzy scooter.
You're embellishing. I understand the rooms suck. I don't go on for the room. I understand the pools are always crowded. Even at Coco Cay, the pool's big, but there's people everywhere. I totally get it. I understand when people feel like cattle. Sure, a little bit at times. But for your money, I can't think of a better way to spend a few days not working than on a cruise ship.
So
unless
why don't
you're willing to spend an extra $5,000, which I don't have to spend, to go to like a LeBlanc, I prefer cruise.
If you're going on a vacation like this for the activities that you say, you could easily just go to Costco, buy a handle of vodka, and go to your local retirement home, and you can play shuffleboard. You can play bingo. You can play bocce ball. You can do trivia. That's all the activities. All the activities that you do are the activities that people do in retirement homes.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
You're gonna do what are you gonna do? We're gonna do water aerobics, bingo, trivia, and shuffleboard. That's basic activities for an 80 to 90-year-old person.
So what? Still something. Do you get to play trivia at home?
We're not 80.
So there's other stuff.
Do you get to play trivia at home?
They have speed wall climbing.
Every bar has a trivia night in our area. Every single bar.
Okay. Yeah, but do you go every night?
No. Why would I want to go every night? So why do I want to do that every night?
You're not.
I don't want to do that every night.
You're not listening. You have the opportunity on a cruise to go to a trivia, go to a karaoke, go to a wine tasting, go to an art show. Like, where else are you going to get a collection of all these different types of things to do, as little or as much as you want?
It's a floating mall. And we come from the land of malls.
I love malls. It's one of my favorite places.
It's crap.
I go to the arcade at the mall if it was still there.
Yeah, because you're going back to your childhood of growing up in the 90s. And
says the kid who goes to Disney every year.
Yeah, I did because my parents brought me there.
Sure.
When my parents stopped bringing me there, I went back once.
Too cheap, huh?
No, I just didn't want to go. I found better places to go to vacation, which is what I tell my parents every time when they book a trip there. And I'm like, go somewhere else. See the world. Experience other places, other cultures. They are, because they're like, I don't want to. They're probably thinking, I don't want to spend the money and then not have a good time. Or like, how am I going to know what to do when I'm there?
Your dad has to get.
There's this amazing thing called Google.
just hold up his phone and translate. I don't know. I feel like it's a good value for what I want as out of a vacation. I can't sit around under a hammock for 7 days in a row. I can't do it. I need activity. I like talking to the people. I know you hate people all of a sudden. I like talking to people on the cruise. I like making friends on the cruise. I like interacting with people from different parts of the country. I find it interesting. For me, it's a great vacation.
I don't want to make friends.
See that? So I think
I talk to people. No, I talk to people on vacation.
I've been taking my notes as if I'm your psychiatrist. And what I've figured out, this all comes down to: you have the problem. You have a hatred of mankind that is going to eventually burst, and I feel like in the future you're going to have a severe breakdown. You're going to end up hurting somebody.
My career has caused me this.
I'm calling the police.
My career has caused me to hate people because people are inherently stupid, and I hate them. And the more stupid that they are, the more work I have to do.
I feel like you should become a teacher.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, I would.
You'll make it a week, and
I would 100%. Oh, I would 100% say something so bad to a kid that I would get fired the first day.
It would be actually worth it to have you go get your substitute teaching license just so that you can get fired.
Well, I'd be the coolest substitute teacher ever because I'd be like,
let all kids go get bagels.
I'd be like, do whatever you want, just don't kill each other and don't have the principal come to the room, and then you're good. Like, if you want to sit on your phone the whole time, whatever, I don't give a shit. But like, actually teaching, no. Kids are hopeless.
No, they are.
The youth of America is hopeless at this point.
So this is actually like hard for me to swallow at this point, because what I'm hearing from you is we are never going to cruise together again. And that makes me sad.
We might just have to, go on a different kind of vacation to a different location and maybe be a little more adventurous.
I told you we're going to Japan. I
know that's my bucket list trip. I want to go so bad.
But however,
I don't want to cruise.
We're going to we're going to go to Tokyo for 3.
I want to go to Japan.
We're going to Japan. We're going to.
I want to travel on trains. I want to go to the entire. No cruises.
But it's so easy to go 3 days in Tokyo, hang out there, and then hop on a boat and see the rest of Japan. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, but then you get to go out on your boat. You get to get off your boat for 8 hours of the day, and then you have to get back on the boat. There's no nightlife off the boat. Japan, nightlife? Tokyo is all about nightlife.
What nightlife are you going to?
Tokyo is all about nightlife.
But that's why you spend a few days.
You're going to miss all that.
Tokyo. Spend a few days in Tokyo. We could stay at the Japanese brothels and stuff. And then we'll send the wives over to the whatever.
Get a waifu into my capsule hotel.
Waifu, yeah. We'll get the geishas and, they wash the body, all that thing.
I can buy my own waifu pillow.
And get big
straight from Japan.
Yes. See, we'll do all that. We'll take care of that, and then we'll go on the ship, and we'll see all the rest.
No,
I think it's a good way.
No cruises. If I'm going to Japan, I'm going for like 2 weeks, and I'm doing the entire country.
You do Japan, the whole country. It's a small, tiny island. We can walk it in a day.
I would stay there for 10 to 14 days.
14 days, Jesus,
for sure.
See, I don't know.
If you're going to go on a 24-hour flight, I'm going to spend the amount of time that I want to spend to do everything I want to do. Because it's not just like Florida where we can be like, oh yeah, drop $120 and I'm in Florida.
Yeah,
this is Japan. This is like almost like a once in a lifetime trip because of how expensive it is to fly there. Make it worth your while. Don't spend your more than 50% of your trip on a boat.
So
because then you're not even going. Then you're like not even going to Japan. You're just going to a boat.
Would a different
that boat could be here. That boat could be here.
Cruise line do anything for you?
It can't be one of the whatever this tier is. It'd have to be the next level, like the one that my father-in-law goes on or whatever. I forget what it's called. That you have like your own butler and like whatever.
Celebrity is
it's like one of the smaller boats that's less people.
Oh, like the super fancy,
the
rich
super luxury
people.
ones.
Yeah, I'm not that. I'm
because
not super luxury though.
he's super fancy and rich.
So if I paid this, I think this vacation would actually like destroy you if we went on it. I'd pay for it. I just looked it up yesterday. We were looking for something to do out of Tampa in maybe April, a quick cruise. And the only one I could find on Norwegian, because I've never been on Norwegian before, a 25-day cruise. How much do you think that would cost you on Norwegian? Wi-Fi is free. You get all the alcohol, excursions, everything's free. 25-day cruise.
25 days? How much?
Yeah. How much?
It's got to be like 12, 15,000.
12, 15,000. It is $1,800 for a 25-day cruise out of Tampa that goes through the Panama Canal, up the west coast of the United States, and ends in Alaska. 25 days.
25. It's almost a whole month for $1,800.
14 ports of call. It goes all the way down to Cartagena, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Mexico, California. We can get off in Los Angeles and San Francisco and go bother our friend Kevin.
Oh,
and then we
Los
finish
Angeles
up
and San Francisco, two places that I would love to go to right now.
I've been to both.
You get off the boat and as they get off they hand you like a nightstick and a helmet, and they go, all right. Once you get through the first wave of homeless people, then you might be able to go get a coffee. And then you got to fight your way back to the boat.
Crazy.
The boat doesn't actually dock; it sends its tender, and then it shoots the water jets off the side that stop pirates.
Yeah,
to stop all the homeless pirates from trying to board the boat.
Swashbuckling adventures. Damn, Fran. Then it goes up to Astoria, Oregon. We could take the Goonies tour.
Oh,
in Astoria.
Sweet. I can't wait to go to Oregon too.
Astoria, and then we get to go to Ketchikan, whatever, Alaska. Then Juneau. Then Skagway, wherever that is. Saskatoon, and then we get to see the glacier. And then we're done at Whittier, wherever that
25
is.
days?
25 days, 1,800. It's 1985. That's how much it costs.
All right, yes. You want to talk about value for a vacation?
Come on. All you can it's got unlimited open bar, excursion credits, Wi-Fi, specialty dining.
But listen, if they're trying to get you on the boat for that much money for that many days,
because not many people,
there's got to be an issue.
No, because
you're going to be on the boat. You're going to be on the boat.
It's a repositioning cruise. That's why it costs that much.
Yeah, you know why? You're going to be on the boat with you and a 9 million people who are retired who've decided that that's cheaper than being in a retirement home.
I get to see all those ports and go through the Panama Canal, which is on my list. Like, that's worth it.
All right, go nuts.
I'm going. Believe me, if my wife said okay, I would book it right now. 1985 divided by 25 days at sea. That's $79 a day.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's amazing.
Are you going to want to do that for 25 days though?
Yes.
Can you handle being around the same people for 25 days?
I'm hanging around the same people every day of my life. I see the same group of people.
That's your family though. That's different.
I could stand them less.
I'm talking about these idiots that go on these cruises.
I can hide out. I can find nice spots. For 25 days of not, I can just bring my laptop and make my videos.
Yeah, if you're able to work remotely,
free Wi-Fi.
Then, I'm saying if you're able to work remotely, then
I can wheel and deal from the ship. Last cruise we went on, I closed on a house. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
There you go.
If you can work remotely, but no other person can take 25 days off.
No, that's true.
I'm a remote worker.
Oh, I'm sorry. But I don't know. I saw that one yesterday. Insane. That's what I'm saying. For me, the positives and the negatives, the positives far outweigh the negatives on cruising. For the bang for your buck, cruises are great. Yes, every once in a while you might get sick, but you can get sick at any resort. Every once in a while.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that me being sick opened my eyes more because I wasn't so trashed during the day. I was 100% sober, and I was just walking around, and the whole time I'm there, I'm looking around going, why am I here? Obviously, it was, we were there to celebrate your brother, but and
Yes.
we did have a good time, and he had a great time. But the rest of the time, I'm walking around, I'm looking around, I'm like, why am I in the boat with the rest of these people? Like, these people are just garbage people. I don't want to be around them.
I know there's questionable folk. That's all part of the experience.
No, the people that go on cruises are the people who don't know how to think for themselves. And they just let other people think for them. They let the cruise director tell them when to have fun, where to go, herd them like cattle, and then in the interim, in between events that the cruise director's herding them to, they stuff your face full of awful food and terrible, sugary, awful drinks. And they treat you like your special needs. The cruise director and its staff. They're always like, "Did you have fun? Yay! We'll see you at trivia tonight." Okay.
I agree to disagree, sir.
You want a keychain.
I don't even know who you are. I have all my keychains. I have my backpack right here.
Wow.
I'll show it to you.
Wow.
I love my swag.
Wow,
I'm like Michael Scott at the paper convention. I got all my swag.
Your mom must be so proud.
She is. She's seen it.
She's so proud of her little Philip.
All my gold medals.
I beat kids at volleyball.
That's how we do it.
I'm just saying.
Before you start crying,
go somewhere else.
I go on other vacations. I'm not a crazy Disney person. I don't go to Disney every time.
I'm not talking about Disney. If you go to if you're going all the way to Japan, why are you going to get on a boat? You're not going to experience the country the same way as if you actually stayed there.
That's true.
At all. You're not going to be able to.
And we might choose not to take a cruise.
I'm saying you're not going to be able to go find a breakfast spot in the morning. You're not going to be able to walk around and find local spots.
Japanese breakfast look
the whole thing I want to do is do as many local things as possible.
Oh, no, I got you.
You've never seen Japanese omelets or the pancakes?
Yeah, I've seen the pancakes. I've tried to duplicate them.
The fluffy ones where they meringue the white egg whites.
I do that now. That's how I make my pancakes. They don't come out the same, but they come out.
Well, because they put that pan over the top and it steams them a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the omelets. Have you seen the omelet? That guy that
I've seen
crazy, and he makes it into a show, and he swirls it, and then he lays it over the rice and splits it open. And that's what I want. I want to eat that.
All right, and you will. I'm not keeping it from you. I don't know.
Agree to disagree on this one. At least we had conflicting viewpoints.
Let the people decide. Let them leave a comment.
I won't say I will never go on a cruise again.
You better not.
It's tabled for a very long time for me.
You bastard.
I have way many other vacations. When I do get a chance to go on a vacation, I have way too many other destinations and things I want to do before I go on another cruise.
Well, I'm going on one in June, so you can suck it. Out of New Jersey. You can come to the port and wave, and I'll wave at you as we're sailing away, as I'm feasting.
Right. And I'll be like, go ahead, have fun.
Drinking my mojitos.
All right. Let's call it there.
Leave us a comment in the description. Are you a cruise person or do you despise cruises? Let us know.
Yes, please do. I'd love to see what the comment section is going to say for this one.
Be half-half.
You think so?
I think a lot of it is going to be people afraid. I think a lot of people are afraid of cruising because you can't get off the boat, like you said, and they think they're going to get seasick. I think that's why a lot of people don't go on them. It's not the crowds. It's not the events, the food. I think they're afraid to be out in the ocean because it can play a little bit of a trick on you when you're out and you look and there's just water, even though you're not far off the coast. You're never too far. And you're always aligned. It's like airplanes. There's a cruise ship right behind you.
At night when you walk out into the observation deck and it's just black
and
all the way around, and you can easily just go over the rail.
And no one
that's the one thing I don't understand. I'm like, how have they not raised the rails or
you get to hop right off.
Sea glass. One of the first cruises I went on, some guy killed himself.
Yeah,
he had a family reunion. and he brought his whole family. He was the grandpa. He brought his whole family on board. Big family reunion. Everyone's there having a great time. In the middle of the night, he jumps off the pool deck.
Yeah.
Hits the water so hard that it was probably like hitting cement, and he just splat.
Probably killed him instantly.
Next morning, we're eating breakfast. The horizon is going from the top of the window to the bottom of the window the whole time eating breakfast. The water in my glass is almost coming out of it. It's moving so much. And we were like, what the heck's going on? And then we realized that there were 2 other boats in a triangle formation, and they had all their dive teams out looking for the body.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Body search. By then, the body was probably floating too, so they eventually probably found it.
Oh, probably.
All the gas comes out and the body starts floating. Yeah. It's science.
Yeah, it happens. People just fall off cruise ships.
Let's go back to the buffet.
Yeah, I need more thin steaks.
More goo. All right. Let's end it.
All right.
Till the next time. Till the next
like, comment, subscribe. Do all the algorithm things. All right, later.
Hey, later.